Most people believe that they have to say something to stop manipulation, but there are 3 simple nonverbal cues you can use to do that job for you, to stop coercion and manipulation before it starts. Narcissists are constantly scanning for signs of access, compliance, and emotional availability. When those signals are there, they know they can extract resources and you become a target. I've spent the last 20 years studying narcissistic relationships and self-worth, and I teach people how to stop manipulation before it starts. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 simple things you can do in any conversation to clearly signal that you are unmanipulatable without even saying a word. Before we talk about the cues that stop manipulation, I want to talk about nonverbal cues that invite it. So let's be clear, no one intentionally is like, please manipulate me. However, in polite society, there are a lot of nonverbal cues that we give off that quietly communicate things like, I'm available, or I'm nice, or I'm not going to put you on the spot, or I'm going to play along, or even I'll carry the emotional weight of this interaction. All of these fall under the umbrella of rapport building cues. Rapport building is about signaling safety and cooperation so the other person feels comfortable engaging with you. It shows up with things like raising your eyebrows while someone's talking, or keeping your eyes wide open and attentive, or leaning in when someone wants to talk to you, or nodding as they speak, or mimicking their facial expressions, mirroring their posture or body language, or tilting your head slightly to look interested, understanding, or concerned. At a functional level, these cues communicate I'm listening, I'm not a threat, I'm socially cooperative, I'm open to connection, and I'm here for you. These cues are great when you're speaking with someone who has the capacity to genuinely connect with you. They help the conversation flow, they build trust efficiently, they signal goodwill. They prevent unnecessary conflict. In professional, social, and intimate settings, rapport is a core component of collaboration and trust. They tell the other person that you're emotionally reachable, that you're responsive, you're willing to engage, and that you'll help carry the interaction forward. The problem is that manipulators exploit these cues. They perform these cues to see what you're going to do in response. They raise their eyebrows, they lean in, they mirror you first just to see if you're going to mirror them back. They're watching your adaptability, your willingness to play along. At a basic level, they're testing, if I do X, Y, and Z, will you do what I want? So while it might feel like you're building rapport, they're strategically acting to see what they can extract from you. If this sounds familiar and you want to assess the level of risk you're dealing with, I put together a quick Narcissist Protection Checklist, links in the description. So how do you know if you're in a conversation with someone who's simply trying to build rapport, or if someone's using these rapport cues against you? This might be subtle or hard to notice at first, especially if you're not used to checking in with yourself during conversations. People who end up in these manipulative relationships or with a lot of manipulators around them are typically more focused on other people than themselves. To become unmanipulatable, you have to intentionally check in with yourself first before focusing on others. In a conversation where someone's genuinely wanting to build rapport, there will be a give and take. There will be reciprocity in the conversation. It'll feel more even, like you might talk and they might nod, and then they might talk and you smile and raise your eyebrows. It won't feel extractive. You won't feel like you're supposed to be performing or doing anything for them. However, when someone is using your innate wish to connect against you, what you're first going to notice is that you'll feel this internal pressure building inside you. Pressure to keep nodding, or pressure to keep smiling, or pressure to keep raising your eyebrows. And if you're honest with yourself, you might start to feel a little stuck or maybe even trapped. When you're dealing with a narcissist or a manipulator of any kind, you will start to notice an unspoken requirement to keep doing something. Nod a little more, smile a little more, lean in a little closer, raise your eyebrows again to show them that you're still with them. And if you don't do it automatically, something changes. They might talk faster, they might move closer, they might touch your arm. They might intensify their own rapport building cues to pull you back in. What you start to feel is the weight of having to perform, act, or pretend. And there's a sense that you are responsible for keeping that interaction comfortable. that you need to keep signaling approval, and that if you stop, you're being rude. That feeling, the pressure to keep nodding, smiling, leaning in, that's the tell. And that's the setup. The minute you feel like a bad person for not wanting to play along, they've managed to already manipulate you. So the first cue is about dramatically dropping how much energy you convey through body and facial expressions. If rapport building is a 10 on energy scale, I want you to bring yourself down to a 2. Eyebrows now move at a 2, forehead moves at a 2, smiles and nods, expressions of approval and understanding are down to a 2. Pretty boring. But you don't want to drop it all the way down to becoming inhuman or robotic. What I want you to do is think more about instead of shining your rapport building energy outward, you hold it close to the vest. This demonstrates a visual conservation of resources. Narcissists hate this because it tells them that you're not going to continue shoveling approval and appreciation and pity or emotional energy into their bottomless pit of neediness. When you do this, a few things happen immediately. First, you stop spending so much energy trying to manage the interaction. You're no longer pouring attention or approval or emotional effort into the conversation. So that alone makes you more alert to what's actually happening. Second, you stop feeding the manipulator what they want most, your time, your attention, and your energy. By relaxing to a level 2, you naturally stop nodding. You stop over-smiling. You stop over-sympathizing. You stop dramatizing whatever they're trying to extract from you. And what that communicates to a manipulator is very simple. Uh-oh, you've lost me. I'm not going to do what you want. And the moment you stop doing what they want, something will change. You're either going to see an escalation or you'll see a shift into a new tactic. They might talk faster, they might move closer, they might try to pull you back in another way. And that's why this only works if you stay very still and very present, because the information you need doesn't come from what they say next. It comes from what they do once the approval and energy is gone. So I want you to think about any facial movement as giving the manipulator approval to manipulate you. And yes, this feels awkward. You might feel antisocial when you don't mirror back. You might feel rude, and that's normal. Healthy people can handle it when you're not animated, or you're not performing, or you're not doing emotional labor for them. They don't require it. So this becomes a litmus test. It's just a quick test. If someone needs you to stay expressive, engaged, nodding, smiling, reassuring, emotionally available in order for the interaction to continue comfortably, then you're not dealing with rapport anymore. You're dealing with a requirement to perform. The second cue is about creating physical space in a very specific way. This isn't about backing away in fear and protecting yourself from pressure. It's about changing your posture so that your body clearly communicates, I'm not available for access. One simple way to do this is to slightly lean back or step back while lifting your chin, just a little bit like this. So when you sit or stand upright and create a bit of space and let your chin come up slightly like this, your body broadcasts calm dominance instead of submission. It says, I'm not intimidated, I'm not caving, and I'm not a workable target. So look at the difference. Going from chin slightly up to dropping your chin and hunching your shoulders forward. So I'm making space like this, but I'm caving forward, and my body signals submission or appeasement. So that posture reads as uncertainty, anxiety, or passivity. It basically says, go ahead and manipulate me. I'm here for it. So what you want to do is create space with an upright posture, slightly lifted chin. Your body communicates something very different. It's a dominance and boundary signal. It communicates that you are not orienting yourself to the other person. This is powerful because narcissists are constantly scanning for bodies that adapt to them. Bodies that lean in or collapse inward or unconsciously move closer to maintain connection. So when you lean back and lift your chin or suddenly, stay relaxed, you're silently saying, I'm not here to serve you. To manipulators, you are no longer usable, and that alone is often enough to change the dynamic. So if you want custom tools to understand the specific dynamic you're in, how you operate, how they manipulate, and how to shut it down, that's exactly what I built into my unmanipulatable training. You can start with the Narcissist Protection Checklist, the link's below, and I'll send you a private offer to access it. The third cue has to do with your eyes, specifically your blink rate. When people are nervous or overwhelmed or intimidated or trying to keep up with someone else's energy, they blink more often. I can't even do it. They blink more often. The blinks are quicker and tighter and more frequent. And it reads like someone is processing fast and reacting or staying on their heels. It's making me dizzy. High blink rate signals uncertainty. It signals that you're tracking the other person, that you're not grounded in yourself, and this cue is about doing the opposite. So you want to slow your blink rate down, and then intentionally blink fully. I know it sounds weird, but it really works. A complete eye block. Close your eyes calmly for a minute and then reopen them slowly. This communicates something very specific, that you are self-possessed, that you're not rushing to respond, that you're not seeking approval, that you're not explaining yourself. A slow, deliberate blink tells the other person, I'm not pressured here. Manipulators rely on speed. They rely on your reactions. They rely on you staying visually alert and responsive to them. So when your blink rate drops and your eye movements slow, that loop breaks. You're no longer signaling urgency, you're no longer signaling compliance, and you're no longer signaling that you need to keep up. And just like the other cues, this saves your energy and pulls you back into your own body. You're watching instead of reacting. A slow blink is a quiet confidence. It says, I don't need to perform. I don't need to prove anything. I'm here on my own terms. Thanks for watching. YouTube thinks you're going to like this video on screen right here. Click it to learn even more about spotting narcissists and protecting yourself against manipulation. I'll see you over there. Okay, bye.